10 reasons why flow and voice are so important for writers. Chorus or shadow reading. This type of reading is something that is often done in a group. While it can still be fun to do as a pair, if you have more people willing to read out aloud in the household, it will be helpful. Chorus reading is when you read all together as a group. This can make the reader feel like there is less pressure, just like singing as a part of a chorus might be less confronting than singing solo. Shadow reading is when somebody reads a sentence and then the group repeats after them. You can take turns with who says the sentence originally. The repetition can feel odd at first, but you will quickly see how much this technique can help with expression. Kids move to mimic, and when gives a short chunk of something, they can often copy the way that you say something exactly. If a sentence is too long, try chunking it into phrases 3 or 4 words long. Formatting and grammar. Systematic. The next systematic approach that we will consider is helping children to understanding formatting and grammar. We can see these parts of text as visual clues that can help us know how to read something. An early understanding of formatting and grammar will also help children to incorporate these into their writing when they are older. Punctuation awareness. With punctuation, you can start with helping them to understand full stops, question marks, and exclamation marks. Leave it at this for a while so that they can get used to the different sounds that each of these punctuation marks require. Their tone should go down at the end of statements and up at the end of questions. You can play around with this, showing just how much tone can change the meaning of a sentence. Exclamation marks are a little trickier, as it depends on which emotion is being expressed. The character might be excited, angry, annoyed, proud, scared, or feeling some other extreme state that caused the author to use an exclamation mark. Talk about these feelings and how this changes the way that the sentence is being said. When your reader is confident with these 3 types of punctuation, you can get them used to pausing at commas as well. Bold and italics. Once they are used to the main aspects of punctuation, readers can consider how their expression should change when words in the text are highlighted in some way. They might be bolded or in italics. Comic books are really great for this. Get them talking about what feelings they think bolded and italicized sections are trying to put across. Practice how changing the way that this word is said can shape the feeling of the sentence. Sentence length and position. Aside from punctuation and altered words, you can also start getting kids to consider the way that the words are expressed on the page. Sentence length can make a big difference for how something is said, and it can give us clues for how to read this out aloud. The position of words on the page can also give us clues how the words interact with white space or pictures, and this is put to great use in many picture books and comics. These can make the words feel like they aren't conforming to normal structure and let kids have more fun with expressing them. Fleshing out characters. Creative. A fun creative option for getting kids more comfortable with expression is getting them to add details to characters. They might get these details from the words, the pictures, or even their own heads. By fleshing out the characters and making them feel more like people, your reader might feel better able to use the tools that they are gathering to express this character's lines in interesting ways. Because it is the character and not them, this can make it feel easier to do. Personality. Giving a character a personality is a great way to help kids be more expressive with their reading. These are lots of ways that you can help them to do this. They might like to imagine the family of characters in a book like their own family, or story friends like their own. Similarly, they can do the same with existing characters that they might love from films and games. By starting with a known character, they can slowly adapt it to make it suit this new one. For kids who find imagination easy, they might even be able to give a character a personality just based on the things that they say or the way that the illustrator depicts them. You will often find that characters center around a single, exaggerated trait. This is a great starting point for variation in tone, variation in emotion. Helping a child to express different emotions for characters and situations can help them to develop their sense of empathy. We often tell a child that certain types of feelings are not good and that they should stop. This is a space where a child can experiment with things like anger, jealousy, selfishness, and cruelty. In pretending to be certain characters or experience points in a character's journey, they can get a taste for what these emotions are like and the effects that they can have. This can help them understand motivations and mind states in other characters and also people. Voice type. Aside from personality and emotion, reading out aloud can also be a time that we can help children to get a sense of voice. This might be the physical aspects of a character's voice or the way in which they tend to express things. For example, you might practice doing gruff voices, delicate voices, underwater bubbly voices, screeching bird voices, young voices, old voices, The possibilities are endless. After establishing different types of voices, get your little reader to mix and match these voices with different characters. Why do they feel certain voices suit certain characters? Is it funny when a character has a voice that is different to how they seem? How much can voice change the meaning of what a character says? There is a lot of fun and creative freedom to be had here. Language fundamentals. Systematic. Some things about language aren't on the page. This can be a big hurdle for little readers and expression because there are no clues. They have to gather it from rules and context. Just like sight words or words with tricky spelling, these aspects of language should be tackled when a reader is already feeling confident about the other elements that have been discussed and isn't having difficulties with speed, accuracy, or volume.